Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everyone had a great week. I hope you had a great weekend. I want to talk to you today about purposeful content. So I think my platform, my show this year will sort of move along those lines of purposeful content. I think that's what I want to talk about, what I want to focus on these shows. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to today's show. The title of today's show is Blind Ambition, and the topic is purposeful content. When I see the words blind ambition, my mind, I don't know about yours, immediately goes to Madonna and her Blonde Ambition tour that took place, I think, back in the 90s. Anyway, the reason for mentioning this is that blonde and the word ambition sounds like a crude joke. And we've heard enough obnoxious blonde jokes, haven't we? All right, I'm not blonde. I know a lot of blondes. And the blondes I know are highly intelligent individuals, whether they be male or female. So, that has no bearing here. But I just wanted to just make an example. All right. So no disrespect to Madonna, who is a fine performer, and she had a winning world tour back in the day. All right. So enough of that. All right. So, but have you ever considered why you write? Is it because of the overwhelming desire to create, or the benefits of creating content? Well, perhaps you've never thought about that before. So I just want to throw this out there and get your wheels turning. If you've never really given much thought to why you create content, and if you answered yes to either of these questions, allow me to break down the differences between creating content versus purposeful content. Everything we do should have a valid reason for that. And just to let you know, ambition isn't a bad thing, but never try it blindly, but with a visionary view or a visionary's view. Blind ambition simply means not seeing past your desire. When we picture what we hope to obtain by creating purposeful content, our mission becomes focused, therefore attainable with limitless possibilities. There will always be some type of hurdles to get through, but the possibilities are still limitless, okay? A great example of blind ambition is Shakespeare Macbeth. And I thought of Macbeth because last Sunday I saw a movie of Macbeth that starred Denzel Washington, and so my mind just went to that character. So we know, if you're familiar with Shakespeare and his plays and the characters of his plays, Macbeth was a very brave Scottish general who believed that he would become king one day. Well, he had 3 witches to tell him that. So instead of letting things progress with a visionary view, he hurried them along, and his ambition became his downfall. And ambition shouldn't be the only reason for existence, nor should it become a stumbling block either. And sometimes it is, because we see a lot of people who, they have ambition, which is a good thing, because you need that if you want to be successful in whatever it is you do. But don't let that ambition stunt your growth. Don't let it be the reason for failure, because I've seen a lot of people who fail because they became too ambitious. They got too greedy. They wanted things too fast. All things take time. Even God took time in creating this world. He didn't rush it. He could have done it in a day, but he didn't do that. And he even rested. He even took a day to rest. So there you go. So we need to think about that, and the same thing applies to creating purposeful content. Everything we do should be a well thought out, logical process, which means that you need to sit down, think about what you want to do before you start doing it. There should be a reason for it, and in the end should be a solution. In the middle, you're going to have, some hurdles. You're going to have some things to get through, some things to get over. But in the end, there should be some type of closure. All right. Purposeful content is lasting, it's inspirational, and it is encouraging to others. It should be meaningful and informative at the same time, instead of the material like we see on social media that is nothing more than clickbait. They have these little headings up there, or they have a video there that is not going, is paused until you click on it. And basically all it is clickbait. It's to get you to click on it to see what the video is about. And sometimes, the videos are pretty funny. Sometimes they actually, lead to something that has a purpose, but most of the time it's just silliness. That's all it is. And that's okay, because we don't have to be serious 100%, and I don't know about you, but I've had my fill of stories and movies or social media posts that only do one thing, and that is take up valuable space in our lives. And every time we fall for it, and we click on it, and then you're like, why did I do that? I could have been doing something else instead of looking at this. This was a total waste of time. But not everything in life has to be serious either, but it should have meaning, and we should want our contribution to the world to add value and not take that away. So isn't it better to have lasting impressions that actually change lives instead of those that do nothing? They enhance life in no way. And think of it in terms of why, what, and how. Why am I doing this? What is the goal, and how will I achieve it? It's better to have a great plan versus a good one, which is a definitive trademark of purposeful creation. And as I said before, you will hear me speak a lot about creation, because I am a creative. I'm a writer, and I have a lot of creative people, a lot of talented creative people in my family. All of them are not writers. All of them are not artists, but they're still creative. And, in one way or another, they are adding content that is useful, that is worthy of you spending time on. It's not wasteful. And that's what we need. We need things that is going to change the world, improve the world, and not make it worse. I look at today's society, and I try not to get discouraged because some of the things that I see are very discouraging, and and you're hard pressed to find something uplifting out there. Every once in a while, if you're watching the news, they'll have one of those uplifting stories that make you smile, that touches your heart, and make you think that humanity is not lost, that there is still hope for us. It may be slim, but still, it lets you know that that in spite of everything, there is hope. We have hope. When we have nothing else, we still have hope, and that's a good thing. And we need to, I'm just going to, quote Reverend Jesse Jackson and just say, keep hope alive, because that's what we need to do. That's what we should do. And you can most certainly do that through creating purposeful content. Whether you are a writer, whether you are a screenwriter, if you are an artist, I don't see artists wasting their time doodling and putting that on a canvas. Doodling is made for the corner, of a piece of paper or something like that. When you don't have anything else to do, it's just your mind is like on a field trip somewhere. And so you're just filling it with doodling on a piece of paper. So I don't see artists spending hours, standing up in front of a canvas or sitting down in front of a canvas doodling. Whatever it is that they're doing is purposeful content. And that's what everyone who is a creative should do. Don't do it just because, you're in it for your own personal reasons, your own personal goals. And you should be, because, this is what you want to do. But it should have something that will change your life, that will inspire, that will uplift someone. So think about it. Don't always think of things in terms of dollars and cents, but think of it in a more valuable way. And that's by changing lives, giving hope to someone that, may stumble across your work one day or read it or whatever. That's why we have so many, Shakespeare, for instance. Shakespeare was around during the 16th century. So that was a long time ago, but his work is still being acted and turned into movies to this day, the 21st century. So what does that tell you? That was some purposeful content that he was creating, and that's why it's still around. And, we want to mirror Shakespeare and also create some purposeful content that will be around for centuries as well. All right, so when you begin your creative journey, just think about it think about these two things. Will it be creative content in general or purposeful content? You decide, but make it count. All right, so that is the show for today. And before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs. Of course, the first one is to Spreaker, and it is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can follow me across all social media. Just don't follow me, but go out there and look at some of my purposeful content, like it and share, please. But it's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and Instagram is by invitation only. And you can also check out my website that is at authorvivianemore.com or authorehshepherd.com. Each week I update my blogcast. Okay, I couldn't get the word out, and that is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com. And again, if you missed the show today on Spreaker, you can listen to all of the recorded episodes, today's and all the ones past this date or before this date. You can listen to those as well on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, Giles Savin, Audible.com, Verbal, and Luminary, and a ton of other places where you can listen to Book Chat is out there. But those are just a small listing of platforms where you can listen to this podcast, and it's broadcast wherever podcasts or broadcast. So you can just go out there and type in the name Book Chat, Author Vivian E. Moore, and you should finish a whole list of those of other platforms should come up to where you can listen to Book Chat. And thank you so very much for listening to the show. I do appreciate you so very much. You helped me last year obtain a goal that I didn't even realize was obtainable. So that tells me that I am creating purposeful content, and I thank you so very much for loving me enough to help me reach that goal. Okay, and tomorrow is worship day, so I hope that you're planning to attend worship service somewhere, even if it's on your couch or in front of your computer, as long as you're listening to some sermons, a sermon. That is so important, because that is also purposeful content. So remember that as well. And, invite your family, your friends, your neighbors to listen in as well, or, to visit you at church, but to also follow all of those important safety precautions whenever you are going out. Wear your mask and socially distance. That's still so very much important. And what's equally important is telling those around you how much you care about them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.